Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Smackdown. And tonight's Smackdown was from Bakersfield, California. And my God, tonight's Smackdown fucking sucked ass. Raw was a much better show last night than Smackdown tonight. It was just fucking crap. Smackdown tonight. But the show opened up with Dolph Ziggler returning after he's been out for 2 months, and everybody in the crowd was like crickets. They didn't even care for Dolph's return, and the crowd tonight was pretty meh tonight. They weren't like very hyped. So Dolph comes out. He was supposed to have a match with Baron Corbin because Baron Corbin's entrance song was playing, and he didn't end up coming out. And so Dolph was still in the ring. They played Corbin's music again, and then we get showed backstage that Corbin was attacked by Owens and Sami, by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And we saw the both of them beating the hell out of Corbin. They both come out, and Sami goes through the crowd to try to get away from Dolph. And we see just Kevin Owens walk down the ramp. Dolph ends up getting out of the ring, goes through the crowd, and he runs and beats the hell out of Sami in the crowd. But Kevin Owens ends up coming. He beats up on Dolph, and then the both of them just start beating him up. Sami then hits the Helluva Kick to Dolph, lays Dolph out. Corbin comes out and tries to take down Sami Zayn, but both Owens and Sami take out Corbin once again. And so that pretty much was the opening to SmackDown. It was a decent opener for tonight's show. That was pretty much the only decent thing that I could say about tonight's SmackDown. So then we go to the first match, Charlotte versus Sarah Logan. The typical women's match. The match was pretty boring, and it was just Charlotte got the win with the natural selection on Sarah Logan. Of course, we had Becky Lynch and Naomi coming out to protect Charlotte because she had, of course, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan out there. But match itself was boring. Typical women's match. And then we had Daniel Bryan and Shane backstage. Shane says to Daniel that Owens and Sami took two guys' opportunities away, and Shane ends up telling Daniel that Owens will go against Baron Corbin, and Dolph will go up against Sami. And if they win, it will not be a fatal 4-way match anymore. It will be a fatal 5-way match for the WWE title at FASTLANE. But if one of them interferes, if Owens interferes in Sami Zayn and Dolph's match, or if Sami interfered in Owens and Corbin's match, they would have both been taken out of the title match at FASTLANE. So it was pretty much that little backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and Shane. Then we had Baron Corbin versus Kevin Owens. Match was okay. Not great or perfect by any means, but it was back and forth between Corbin and Owens. But match ended with Baron Corbin win the match with the end of days on Kevin Owens to score the win. But match itself, like I said, it was okay, but wasn't great or perfect. Then we had after that we had Bobby Roode come out, you know, for the U.S. Open Challenge. He was challenging anyone in the locker room to, you know, take on him in this Open Challenge for the United States title. And he ends up coming out saying that, you know, from the moment he won the United States title, he wanted to be, you know, he wanted to be the greatest United States champion in history. And he ends up saying that he wants to surpass Cena's reign. When Cena had the U.S. title, he defended it all the time. And that's when Bobby Roode ends up issuing a open challenge for the title, and it is revealed that his opponent is Randy Orton. But we thought that we were going to have this open challenge, but it didn't happen because Jinder Mahal ended up coming out, and he's saying to Orton that the WWE Universe respects him, and also the entire roster, the entire SmackDown roster respects Orton, because Orton was voted at 9 in that top 10 list that was revealed last week. And Jinder says he respects Orton, that even though they had, even though both of them had their ups and downs. And Orton says to Jinder that he doesn't give a damn about a top 10 list. And Jinder says, he thinks Bobby Roode will be a future legend killer. I'm like, what? But Bobby Roode says to Jinder, the words, he said, like it doesn't make him on the list, and that nobody respects Jinder, and we got Jinder talking about a list that he wasn't even on. And then Bobby Roode says he respects, he has respect for Orton for what he's done, for what he's done in in WWE, for what he's done on SmackDown. And Bobby Roode says the reason Orton made number 9 on that top 10 is because everyone, the opponents that Orton gets are sick and tired of him, Orton coming out of nowhere and attacking them, hitting RKOs out of nowhere. Then we see Orton hit a RKO on Samil Singh, and then Orton and Roode go after Jinder. Jinder then hits the Colossus on both Roode and Orton, and so Jinder Mahal was the only one standing tall to end this segment. So, but U.S. title match, the U.S. Open Challenge didn't get underway because of that. So it was just a meh segment. And now we get to, after this, we had the New Day coming out. Kofi Kingston says, it's Strove Day, aka Fat Tuesday, aka Pancake Tuesday. And Xavier says, that Big E is going to break the record and eat all the pancakes in 8 minutes because they had a table full of pancakes. And I'm like, the crowd did not, you could tell the crowd was dead during this because they didn't give a shit, about this. And this was just embarrassing. It was really fucking embarrassing. Then we had Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin come out. Gable, saying he's not like not liking this pancake challenge. And Benjamin says that the New Day should take this pancake thing on the road and open up an IHOP. I'm like, they're just saying, crap, about, pancakes and shit. And he says that, they should leave the SmackDown tag team division to a couple of competitors. Xavier says to them that, to both of them, that New Day set the record on being, the WWE World Tag Team Champions. And he says, who wants to see Gable and Benjamin as champions? And then they go with the famous whoo, 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 and they say, nobody. And so then Gable and Benjamin end up throwing pancakes around. They're throwing pancakes on the ground, in the ring. And, Gable says to the New Day that nobody likes, pancakes. And Benjamin says, we only eat waffles. And so we just see Shelton Benjamin just throw the plate of pancakes. And then we just see Big E getting all pissed. And that leads to them having a match. Leads to Big E and Kofi Kingston having a match with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. That whole segment was fucking embarrassing. It was corny and idiotic. Sorry about that, but after that corny segment led to the match, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Match itself, did not care for it. Wasn't that good, my opinion. But yeah, sorry about that. But match itself wasn't that good. It was back and forth between them. But Big E and Kofi Kingston got the win. They ended up hitting the midnight hour on Chad Gable to score the win. So, but all in all, match was, yeah. Then we had Dolph Ziggler. Renee Young was interviewing Dolph Ziggler, backstage. And Dolph says he's finding opportunities and he loves it. And, it's about him, doing what he loves to do, and that's performing in the ring. And the reason why, he is back is he wants to main event WrestleMania. And he goes on to say, be sure he walks into WrestleMania the WWE champion. And I'm like, you go away for 2 months. You walk out of the company in storyline for 2 months. He relinquishes the United States title, goes away, like I said, storyline for 2 months, and he returns, and now out of nowhere he's granted an opportunity for the WWE title. I'm sorry, but that's just lame. That's fucking lame. So, well, yeah. So, there was just that little backstage interview with Dolph, and then we saw the Usos cut a promo saying that there is not another tag team on the roster that could step up to them, and they go on with their Uso penitentiary thing. Then we see the Bludgeon Brothers then hit the TV and shattered the glass from the TV, and they just stand there and don't say anything. Harper and Rowan, they just stand there saying nothing. Okay. But yeah, it was a pretty good promo from the Usos. They're the only entertaining part about SmackDown. So then we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens backstage. Owens says, if he loses the match, it turns into a fatal 5-way. And, they have less of a chance of winning the WWE title. And, it's just Kevin Owens saying to Sami, not to let him down. and eventually led to Sami Zayn coming out, and it got onto the match, Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn. And the match itself, it was, pretty decent match, back and forth between Dolph and Sami. And he had at one point where Sami ended up suplexing Dolph off the top, which was really cool. The crowd kind of popped for that. But Dolph ended up winning the match with a super kick to Sami Zayn. Shawn Michaels, sort of super kick. And so Dolph won the match, and now the match at FASTLANE is now a fatal 5-way. So, but all in all, the match itself, it was decent. It was a decent match, but still, don't like how the way Dolph ends up coming back. He's away for 2 months. Because of the story. He relinquished the United States title. Comes back and now has the opportunity to go into the fatal 5-way match for the WWE title at FASTLANE. Man. And now onto the mixed match challenge, which this week it was Lana and Rusev versus Elias and Bayley. And this match was okay, but it ended really shitty. But you had Elias and Rusev, going at it. Elias was taped up, because last night, when Braun Strowman hit that cello to Elias, on Raw last night. Elias was all bandaged up, but he was able to compete in the match. But it was just them going back and forth. You had Lana and Bayley go at it. Bayley was mostly dominating on Lana through the match, but the match ended really stupid. With you had Elias coming in the ring, taking out Rusev. Bayley was going to go for the Bayley to belly on Lana, and then Lana ended up slipping out of it, and Bayley ended up falling. Lana ended up pinning Bayley, and so Lana and Rusev win the match. But it was just very stupid way to end the match. I mean, you get Lana win the match where a jobber pins Bayley. I mean, what has Lana done since then? She's done pretty much nothing except get beat by Naomi. When Lana wanted, when Lana challenged Naomi for, she wanted the SmackDown Women's title and lost. And lost to Naomi, a couple of times. But yeah, so match was okay, but ended stupidly, in my opinion. I can't believe it. I really fucking can't believe it. Lana pins Bayley. Oh man. And then next week on the mixed match challenge, it's going to be Charlotte and Bobby Roode versus Apollo Crews and Nia Jax. So, we all know who's probably going to win that. So, but who knows? It could be a good match. So, we just have to wait and see. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.